Sometimes I tell you I'm not monetizing a video. This, of course, refers only to YouTube, because on the other platforms, they just put in advertising wherever they want. But on YouTube, I have to request, and then YouTube has to decide whether my material is suitable for advertising. And I always tell you this, not because I'm making a not so subtle hint for you to shovel a few pence my way. No, but so you know that I didn't request advertising on some videos. Some videos I just regard as not suitable for advertising. In this case, I know that YouTube wouldn't let me advertise on this anyway, so it's a bit of both, but this certainly isn't suitable for cheery adverts either. It's a horrifying situation illustrating the degenerate cowardice of modern Islam. Yep. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. There's a characteristic of bullying in Islam which cannot be ignored. You see it in the recent events, well, not so recent now, in October, when thousands of well-armed men went into situations where there are a lot of unarmed young people just partying, and, well, they did some terrible things to them. And didn't seem too worried about that, or marching into villages and raping and pregnant women and kidnapping people, unarmed people, and they were brave enough then. Not so brave when the Israelis came back with guns, however. Then they couldn't wait to surrender by the looks of things. That's another matter. But that sort of bullying bravery, or rather what they like to call bravery, is quite common elsewhere in the Muslim world as well. And yeah, you see, well, recently there was a tourist, somebody put it out that he disrespected Islam or something in Pakistan, and a mob of neighbours just, they killed him, didn't they? They just mobbed him and killed him. And unfortunately, the most heartbreaking thing about it is that people in the West are taking on this sort of behaviour as well. You see it in the way that universities are behaving, you know, the Free Palestine hate fests they have, and the way they then turn on solitary Jewish students or whatever. But when they're met with real resistance, for instance, like when they tried to mob the Phoenix Theatre, and it just happened to be a Jewish area, and lots of Jews turned up and some non-Jews as well, who were pretty disgusted with the whole business, then they couldn't get back into the underground station fast enough. And here we have another example. Now, this was a tweet from NW Friends of Israel, Northwest Friends of Israel. And watch the threatening way Rabbi Arnie Saunders was treated when he was invited to the Bilal Mosque in Prestwich, Manchester, in his role as the Conservative candidate for Bury South. And he was invited by the mosque elders, so he was invited there. And then he was allowed to be abused, intimidated, and he obviously feared for his safety. Any sane person would have feared for his safety. And then the comment under here is, by contrast, two of the mosque elders, that very same mosque, were recently invited to the Jewish MCR, Manchester, Bury South, Hustings, and they were treated with nothing but courtesy and respect. You see, it is not reciprocal. And yeah, you may say I'm making sweeping generalizations here. I am not making a sweeping generalization. I am going on form. This sort of behavior is not unusual in Muslim communities. And what sort of behavior am I talking about? Well, I'll show you. Now, this guy shouldn't be running as a candidate anyway, frankly, but that's another story. This is what went on.
Brother, here you go. Here's your opportunity. In front of all of these Muslim people that you've come for to engage, condemn the IDF. Condemn the killing of children, of women, of old people, of livestock. No, don't regret. Condemn in the strongest terms.
Sit down on the mosque.
Yeah, leave. Nobody wants you here. Leave. These committee members that invite you, go to their houses. But don't come to the house of Allah and try to engage with us when we know when you're in your own places with your own people, you're saying is good. Good that they kill the children.
Now, there's one thing, the first thing. This guy, the person who's doing the shouting, is projecting. Because the only people I have seen online celebrating the deaths of women and children have been Muslims supporting the October the 7th pogrom. You don't hear Jews celebrating the deaths of people in Gaza in that way. In fact, the only people you hear celebrating the deaths of people in Gaza, I'll try and find a clip, are the Hamas leaders who say that the blood of their women and children is necessary for the final victory of the Palestinian cause, something like that. I'll see if I can find it. If I can't, then maybe you'll be able to find it. Anyway, so he is projecting like mad here, this shouter.
You were there supporting it. What was your stance on the ceasefire? Did you vote for it? Did you vote for it?
I'm not an MP.
Did you vote for it? But you're asking you're asking us for our votes. Will you willing to condemn? No, uncle. No, Imam Saab. Fear Allah. You invite these people. Fear Allah. What good is this to go inside the dua for Gaza and outside you invite these people? Huh? Speak. Speak, Imam Saab.
You can use it.
You're doing dua for Gaza inside and you're inviting these people that when they're saying in their own places, they're happy that these children are dying. Ask him to go. Ask him to go. Ask him to go.
No, not go.
Ask him to go. These people justify it.
Can you go, please?
They should go. Ask him to go.
He should go.
He should go. Ask him to go.
He's right. He should go.
No. Ask him to go.
Would you please?
Tomorrow they're going to invite someone else. Tomorrow they're going to invite Labour. Tomorrow they're going to invite Liberal Democrats.
नहीं प्लीज इसको निकालो आप गलत हैं ये सही बोल रहे हैं
Leave, tell him to go. And everyone standing here silent should be saying the same thing. Tell him to get lost and go.
हक की बात करो हमेशा हक की बात करो अल्लाह बोलते हक की बात करो हक की बात ये इसको निकालो यार
No, get time to go. We don't want to engage with you people. We don't want to engage with you justifiers of child killers. Learn and ring the police. Well, if this is engagement.
You should go back.
No, bro. For God's sake, the only thing that we can do when there's our opportunity to do it. Every day we see the pictures and we can't do nothing. And then at one time we can do something. Everyone's saying to me, no, tell him to go. Tell him to go. Tell him to go. Yeah, go. You're not getting our vote. None of you are getting our vote. You justify children to be murdered. You're happy that they're going to Gaza. You say that it's right that they cut off electricity, that they cut off food and water. When you're with your own people,
he is telling this man that he has said it's right to cut off water and electricity when that actually hasn't happened. So he's coming out with a stream of rationalizations that simply, provably, have not happened. And he must know that. I mean, he's obviously getting misinformation from other Muslim sources, but a little bit of searching on Google and you can find UN reports on this. Anyway, Carry on.
The things that you say. And then you come here and you smile like a snake, trying to say to us, oh yeah, Muslim immigration is not the problem.
Well, I'd say, I want to tell him right now, Muslim immigration is a problem when Muslims act like you're acting, mate.
Tell him to go. He should go. Tell him to go. No, until he goes, I'm not going. No, brother. No. Brother, ask him to condemn it. Ask him to condemn it. I've asked him 10 times to condemn it.
Now, there are several things going on here. The first is that is obviously quite a frail man. I don't know why he's running. I'm assuming he's more or less running as what the politicos call a paper candidate. He'll do a few speeches, but they don't expect to win in that area, so they're just running somebody. Okay, but why they should talk about elder abuse, why they're allowing somebody of that frailty to do this sort of thing, I don't know. Secondly, I don't know why he's appearing at a mosque anyway, except they did invite the same elders of this particular mosque to a hustings, and I suppose he expected to be treated with the same sort of respect. And that was foolish in itself, because we know that there are certain groups of Muslims who do not respect anybody but other Muslims of their group. That's the second thing. And the third thing, and the most important thing, is this. I'm just going to run through this video again. And what's the most striking thing you notice here while this old man is being shouted at? It's the utter inactivity of all the other brave men around him. One man is whipped up into a spittle-spewing, eye-rotating fury, and all the people around him who knew that that man had been invited to talk to them by the mosque elders, they were all silent. There's one guy here filming it, I think, on his camera. He's got his camera out there. Can you see? So there's at least one other person videoing it. There's somebody videoing it from behind Mr. Shouty. And they're just standing around. And I can tell you why they're standing around. They're standing around because if one of them steps forward to defend that Jewish man, then they will be on the receiving end of Mr. Shouty as well, and some of the others. They're just waiting for the excuse for one of those others to step forward and say, this is not polite, this is not the way you treat somebody, he's here to talk to us, you can ask him questions later, whatever. No, not one of them dares to step forward. They are all cowards. There's one bully there, and the rest of them, they're not rounding on this old guy. They know it's wrong, but they do nothing to stop it because they're cowards. And Mr. Shouty, of course, is also a coward because he knows. He can do that because he knows nobody's going to stop him. Because he knows all he's got to do is accuse them of siding with an old Jewish man, and they're finished as much as the old Jewish man is. It's absolutely horrifying what that bully was doing to that old fellow. But even more depressing is the utter craven, is there a better word than cowardice? Hang on a minute, I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to look in the thesaurus and see if there's another word there. Yeah, I've found a better word, gutlessness. The complete gutlessness of every man, because it's only the men there, every man in that Bilal Mosque in Manchester. Just a bunch of gutless cowards. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by clicking like, by subscribing, by clicking the notification bell, and by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels are in the description, also links to donation sites, but really the best way you can help me is simply by clicking like. Thank you.